Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Manny, and I'm coming to you live once again for the second time today on Friday. We don't ever do this. It's so exciting. But we're doing it today because I have a very special guest today on Interviews here at Manny J Media, the one, the only, the fabulous Miss Julie Bowditch.
Thank you.
Of the Casa program, Court Appointed Special Advocates. I
Nailed
had to close
it.
my eyes because that's a lot. But thank you. I'm so glad I nailed it. One of my best friends in the community. I don't know if it's a secret. If it's a secret, then you obviously don't know us very well. You've been to every single one of my studios since the very beginning of Manny J Media.
In such a cool space. That's right.
What do you think?
It's gorgeous. You're in a cool spot. It's easy to get to. I could throw a rock in my office.
How great is that?
Yep.
And I mean, well, you could throw a rock and hit your office, so you don't really need it. However, we have parking. Like, it's just such a great thing.
On a day like today, you still need it.
Yeah, that wind, man.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that wind for a second?
Yeah, I can tell you right now. There's trash and recycling lining the streets of Worcester.
Yeah, sorry, Worcester.
All I can say is pick up your trash later or this weekend. Take 5 minutes.
On Grafton Street.
Yeah, somebody come get your trampoline.
We got the dogs driving around.
Not good. Yeah. We're all going to help each other out this weekend and pick up a few milk jugs and cardboard boxes because we cannot blame the trash guys for this one. No. This is all the wind.
This is definitely the wind. You know, they say March comes in like a lion. Hopefully it goes out like a lamb.
Right? I hope so. It's supposed to be a nice weekend, but it's crazy out there. Yeah.
We've had a very peculiar week, I would say. I mean, we've gone from, what was it, like 18, 16, 14 degrees the other day to 50 degrees literally overnight.
I know, and everyone's like, why am I getting sick? I'm like, oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we forget about all the stuff going around, but just the hot and cold fluxes to our bodies. It's insane.
It's terrible.
And then now
I don't know how to get dressed every day.
What is today? It's all right. No. I mean, weather-wise.
I was like, it's like 35, 30, 40.
Not too bad.
No, but the wind is horrible.
The wind is not fun.
Yeah, my dog is offended.
I'm offended. I'm offended for your dog.
She's like, must I pee outdoors? Yes, you must.
You know why? Because how quickly we just switch subjects.
Yeah.
But I will say, I have a smaller dog who technically could pee on a pad inside.
No,
but you know what they like to do? They like to pee right outside the pad.
Yeah.
It's like they know they're
They
supposed
also
to be on the pad.
abuse that privilege. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's outside or nothing.
Take it outside.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know she's mad.
We won't swear.
No, yeah. It's okay. Yeah. We're among friends. Usually, I know when she's really mad. I was getting ready to leave the house the other day, and she does not love that. Yeah. And she looked right at me, locked eyes, and took a little wee inside the house.
Take that with you.
I was like, understood. We're in a fight. I get
it. We are not friends today. You are leaving without me. How dare you?
She was not about it.
Here's a treat for when you get back.
Yep. I was like, hey. That's how it's going to be.
I mean, it is. Before we continue, we talked about the weather. We talked about the dogs. Oh, my God. Congratulations on your little baby. I saw your picture, your twinsy picture. So cute. With your little 80s sweater.
Having too much fun with it.
No. Is it ever
She's so sweet.
Listen, we have to have fun right now. Otherwise, we can easily slip into insanity.
Oh, truly. She has been, like, so good for me, grounding and, like, just, perspective and giving me something positive to channel some of my energy into.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot to be said about therapy pets.
That's right.
Is that what they call them? No.
Yeah, and like emotional support.
Emotional support pets. Thank you.
Actually, I'm hoping we do train her to be a therapy dog. If she passes her other trainings, I'm hoping because then she could be, she comes to work with me sometimes, but she could be more,
Well, even on planes, like, there's, we're not talking about Casa today. We'll get there, I promise.
Yes, we will.
But I'm so afraid of flying. I'm not really afraid of the flying part. I'm afraid of the takeoff and
And
landing part.
landing.
You know, where like it's really the humans got to take over.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of that part.
Yeah.
And you know, they laugh a lot about. You know, usually you see like a little white woman with a little tiny dog on the plane. Like it's
And
such
like, that's
a funny
you?
thing. That's me. If I could be a little white woman with a tiny dog on a plane,
You can be.
I would love to have my tiny dog.
Let's just let's just generalize that.
Yeah. Listen, it's not. Listen, it's for everybody. Right?
Yes. And it goes both ways. They don't like being apart from us either. So
Yeah. And I don't know if you've experienced this yet, but when you're having the worst day ever, you come home and it's like they know, and they come and they just want to love you and snuggle you.
They're always happy to see you. And like, I think that's why I said it's grounding, because I think it's great to just, no matter how your day is going or what news, they're just like, we need to eat and go for a walk and get snuggled. And like, but I think it's good for me because it's good. It's good to be like, okay, we can take a break from like the crushing overwhelm of the media and news and the state of, the country and the world, and just say like, this little creature is 100% depending on me and wagging their little tail. And like, I think that's been very good for me to just be like, take a minute and like, feel some joy.
Feed your baby a little bit.
That's right.
And then they just want to love and cuddle you.
That's it.
And play maybe.
Yep. She's living her best life.
Get your mind off of like the real world.
Yes.
And just your own little bubble that you're in, you and your baby,
yes.
and that's it.
Shameless plug, if you're not already following Brinkley on Instagram, she's got some fire content going.
Yeah, can you spell that?
Yep, Brinkley, Brinkley.
I think I'm following
BB.
Am I?
I don't know. If you were, you need to be. Yeah. Brinkley BB on Instagram.
Right now
and live. Then you can also give me your organic reactions. BRINK. There she is with her cute little face. Yeah. Okay, follow that little baby.
Oh my God, she's like cute little teddy bear. Like
she is so cute.
Go follow Brinkley BB now.
She's just the most precious little. These are the unhinged things that I'm like.
Oh my God, you take a million pictures of her. You can't help yourself.
Look at that little face.
Go follow Brinkley BB right now.
Brinkley BB. Where's that?
Let me see. Does Brinkley have more followers than I do? I'm curious.
She's just a baby.
Almost. We're getting there. All right. So I wanted to talk about. I haven't seen you since July, August-ish. That's a lie. I see you all the time in the community.
Yes, but in this capacity.
Yes. You haven't visited me in that long. Yep. And it's not just your fault alone. It's my fault too.
We're busy people.
We're busy bees.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yep.
I mean, it's great.
I always say I'd rather be busy than bored.
Yes.
Always. Yeah. But we have a lot to update you on.
Yes. I want to know. The last time you were here, we were talking about Champions for Children.
Yes.
And this year, I believe it was at the top of the tower.
It was, yeah.
That's cool. I'm so sad. I think I was.
You had something that came up that evening.
Yeah, it was. I think it was actually a seasonal pest. One of those little cold things.
Yeah,
I didn't want it to.
We appreciate you not bringing that energy.
I didn't want to be police.
Yeah. Well, it was. This never gets old. No matter how many times we can say it. It was a record-breaking event, and it won another award. Yes, best nonprofit fundraising event for the best of business again this year. Thank you, and thanks to our amazing team. And we have this great group steering committee that's all volunteers, as well as our internal folks who are like incredible. And they put it together, and we raised over $150,000.
Stop it. $150,000 for our babies.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's the sky's the limit. We're back at the tower this year. It's going to be on September 11th. So this is technically the first time we've talked about it in any kind of official capacity. So people can go ahead and mark their calendars.
We are breaking the news. September 11th at the top of the tower. So if you haven't been, it's such a beautiful venue. You get 360 degrees views of
and floor to ceiling glass. It's the tallest structure in the city. It's gorgeous. But best sunsets. And this will be our third year there. The first year we were their literal first event in the new space because they were, no word of a lie, blow drying the paint on the walls. That's how close the construction ended up being. But it was glorious because no one had been in the space since it had been remodeled.
So you guys got to baptize it.
Literally, and I think we did it proud. And then we were back last year. We were like, phew, the paint is dry. And like, everything was sorted out. So that felt really good. And we were able to just like raise the bar. And then this year we're back. And actually, I don't think that there's like any real official announcements yet, but there are going to be more changes up there in an exciting way. They're doing some more renovations and a few more tweaks and stuff. So I'm sure you've heard that there's going to be a restaurant going in on the lower floors. So they're going to do some things to kind of tie that together and make that space, I think, a little bit more accessible to the community and to the public. So I'm really, really, really anxious to hear more about that. But anyway, we're going to be back there.
Maybe you can connect us and we can get them on the show and we can ask them all the questions.
Oh, they would love that. They would love that.
After the show.
Yes. Okay. All right. That would be such a cool, yes. And everyone I know is dying to hear about what's coming in there. So it's going to be very cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So I wanted to let people know how they might be able. Are tickets on sale for Champions?
Not yet, but they will be soon. So for now, I would go ahead.
Make sure that they get
early
ahead of the game. Yeah.
Yes. Well, so definitely social media. You know us. We're always very active. Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn are our three favorites. So,
by the way, I must say, can we just do a shout out to your social media team?
Yes, we can. Always and forever.
You guys made this has nothing to do. I let you know this morning. You had
no, please.
Yeah. That was one of the most amazing flyers. I loved it. I love how it had the little squiggly and then the heart and my little logo. Like how you guys are amazing.
Great job to you. Thank you. They do an incredible job. They take every partnership we have very, very, very seriously. And we just appreciate, like, you could invite anyone on. You could have gone and had lunch somewhere, whatever. It's Friday, but you made time, and we are grateful. And that we feel that way about all of our partners. And we could not do what we do in the capacity we do it, certainly, if it wasn't for partners. So yeah, it's the least you can do. But you're right; they're so talented. They're so talented.
We all bring our A game to.
We bring what we can, and together it works. Yeah,
make things work.
Yeah.
So thank you. I appreciate you always.
Yeah, thanks for sharing
me and thinking of me and having me be a part of Casa, even if it isn't. I don't know. Is it official capacity, unofficial capacity?
Yeah.
I love being a part of Casa. I always wanted to be. I got a car, now. I should probably go do the full on.
Well, I'll tell you.
Advocacy program.
Speaking of like our history of like the shows and our friendship, I was just remembering that like the first time I was on your show, like now it's probably over 2 years ago, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was like
probably like
three and a half-ish.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, yeah.
And I was remembering like that you were asking a lot of questions, and then like today I'm like, now you're like an old hat at this, Casa's work. And I'm like, I think that speaks to your dedication to the community and to learning about our work, but also hopefully our like brand awareness in general and like visibility of Casa.
Yeah.
And
very important.
Yeah. And not that I don't assume everyone who's listening does know, but you said earlier, court appointed special advocates, social media, like you asked, and then also our website, which is thecasaproject.org. That's another really good place to get information about everything. Volunteering, which is very important. Yeah. But also we always have events, no matter what. We're going to talk about a couple of really cool ones in March today.
Before we get to that, I want to go back to reminiscing about last year. I don't want to forget.
Yes, of course.
So Champions of Children happened. Great outcome. $150,000 raised.
Sold out event.
Can you give me an idea quickly about what that money goes towards?
Of course, yes. So we do receive some state funding, although as you know, it is precarious every year, and particularly we are we are going into a lean season, as they say. And so, but it's always been the case that you can't be overly reliant on any one particular source of funding. So, for an event like that, it makes such a substantial difference in terms of the capacity we have. So this is really, I think this will be really impactful to you. In 2023, we were appointed to 16% of the new care and protection cases that were coming through the juvenile court. So they're called CMP cases. Those are the cases we're most frequently appointed to. 16% in 2023 of the new cases that were opened that year.
What does that look like? These are children that are going into the court system for the first time.
Yes. Yeah, that are often either have experienced a removal from their family of origin or otherwise are in custody of the state. DCF is involved in some way. So they're not having a good time.
Yeah.
And so that is really a care and protection case most often. 16% of the time, Casa was appointed to the Worcester County, you know, all of the juvenile courts throughout the whole county and region.
Sorry,
in 2023,
sure
yeah, no, please.
I was thinking earlier when I went to go tag you, I saw Worcester County and then Worcester.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about Worcester County, what does that look like? When people hear Worcester County, we're not talking about just the city of Worcester.
Right. So Worcester County is 60 towns and cities. Our geography that we serve stretches to the New Hampshire border and down to Rhode Island, Connecticut. That whole entire center. And not only is it a large geography in a lot of towns and cities, it's also dense. Yeah. I mean, you know, we're the second largest city in New England. Right. And then just Central Mass in general is very populous. So like we're talking about a large density too, high population area. So we serve 4 juvenile courts in this county. So Worcester Juvenile Court up the street, obviously, that we can almost see from here. But also there's a juvenile court there's a court that hears juvenile cases in Fitchburg, Milford, and Dudley. Okay. So we go to all those courts depending on where we're appointed. But yeah, so that impact story in 2023, 16% that we were appointed to. Last year in 2024, that number jumped to 31%.
Wow. From 16 to 31? Wow.
So just about doubled.
A little more than that.
Yeah, just about. Yeah. But yeah.
About doubled. Wow.
Yep.
So why do you think that is?
I think there's a million reasons. I mean, I would love to believe that it is partly because the courts and the judges are feeling that we're bringing value to the cases and bringing a unique perspective. That certainly,
that would be nice.
That's what I think it can be attributed to that. I mean, for sure. I mean, there's also factors including that we had a new judge that was appointed to the juvenile court here in Worcester last year, which was really important. They were fully staffed for a little bit there. We can get into that in a minute.
So when I hear a double, I hear double cases, double the amount of, which is
it wasn't
that
quite well. I don't think it was necessarily an indication of like twice as many cases that opened. It was just that twice as many were pointed to us. So that is kind of good news. I mean, we certainly don't want there to be more cases, obviously, but we want to be available to any cases that could benefit from our advocacy. So kind of the way I look at it is if we have the capacity to take on that many more cases without any waiting list, without needing to compromise the sort of quality of our services and how individualized it is, that to me is a win. Yeah. And that I can say proudly that's what we were able to do in 2024. We never accessed a waiting list, even with that stark increase. And we were able to be just as thoughtful about having volunteers trained and prepared and ready to appoint to cases, and supervisors who were very gracious in flexing their caseloads to make sure that that we never had to, that every single case was getting the same amount of attention. And honestly, that's a testament to our team at Casa. They're incredible. Our program team are like angels. They're really hardworking angels. Yeah. They're amazing, and they're talented, and they're very, very experienced as well. So they know what they're doing. They're excellent resources in the community, but also it extends to our advocates too, who are all volunteers. So we have a new group. I just was able to meet our new volunteers last night at training. We do 6 nights right now of training for our new volunteer groups. And I was able to welcome them and thank them. And that was, that's always a really special part of my job. And that means we're going to have some new folks ready in a few weeks to take new cases. So we love that.
Yeah. No, that's very important. The more availability that there is, the more young people will be able to help. And I love that you brought up, again, the Worcester County area, and that's a really large area of young people that need these services.
Huge. Busy.
How are you? I'm sorry. Oh, already? Holy.
Okay.
We talked about
this.
Okay.
Yep. It's going to fly.
We have more questions, but first, we have amazing sponsors, as I'm sure you're well aware of how that works. And we just need to take a moment and show our appreciation and our love. And I want to just shout you guys out individually from the rooftops, but we got John to do that for me. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rainy J Media Interviews with our special guest today, Miss Julie Bowditch. You're a pro at this. You're already a veteran at the Rainy J Media
I could talk to you all day.
circle. I know. And unfortunately, we don't have all day because
That's
you
right.
got things to do. I don't really have things to do. I could literally sit here and talk with you all day. However, we got a whole
we got big news to tell folks too.
Huge news.
Yeah.
So, I did have a question, but I think I'm just gonna jump right into that, and then we'll go back to the question if it all fits in.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So we were talking about events.
Yep.
Champions of Children. That was our fall event, but spring is on the horizon.
Spring is springing. Yes.
And that means that we got more work to do.
We do,
because championing for children and
no days off, man. No days off.
Isn't only in the fall. It's a year-round thing. What's coming up? Let me know.
Yeah, so it's important to us at Casa that we kind of do events year-round, that we don't expect anyone to come to every one of our events. I mean, I personally try to, obviously, but like it's a lot. No, just about.
I think people who go to these events want to see you.
Oh, that's kind of you. I want to see them too, but that's nice of you. I love going to our events, but there are a lot of them. Yeah. But it's our goal to have something throughout the year that would be interesting and accessible to everyone. Because we don't expect everything to be for everyone. So we're like, if we can get creative. So that's really what we're looking at for March. So next weekend, yikes, on March 15th, it's Saturday, we are going to be back at the schoolyard in West Boylston. And we are having our second annual Casa Palooza. Yep. So Casa Palooza is a mini music festival. We're featuring 8 musical acts. There are 6 bands and 2 acoustic acts, all local musicians and bands.
I'm like stunned. My face, I'm thinking in my head, I need to fix my face. That sounds so cool.
It's the best. And it's all ages, extremely family friendly, but also fun for adults. So yeah, we'll have 2 stages going. And we have tons of activities. If you've never been to the schoolyard, it's very cool. Yeah. It's like an indoor playground.
Yeah, it's literally
so cool.
It's more than an indoor playground. Now, I need to get them on the show too one time. I should actually bring the show to the schoolyard. So
that's a great idea.
It's everything you think about when you think of a schoolyard. Think of when you were a kid in school, when you went out to recess. But
like lawn games. Yeah, like
you got so board games, lawn games. There's a big old kickball / baseball, softball field.
And a bar, parents or other adults.
Well, I mean, that's cherry on top.
It's the weekend. Yeah. And you know what? We also have food. We're going to have fresh local food coming through from Caribbean Press, which I think you know, Cookie, our great friend.
We love some
Bree Sweet Treats, who I know you love.
We love some Bree Sweet Treats.
Yep. And Joyfuls is going to be there this year as well. I think we also have some like exciting beverage sponsors. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone. So I'm just going to check we have Deep Eddy Vodka. We have Greater Good Brewing, Polar Beverages, Seven Saws Brewing, and Wegmans all coming in to also help with. So there's going to be like drink tickets.
Are they vendors?
They're providing, they're donating. So there's going to be drink tickets for both adults. I should say both people who enjoy taking part in alcoholic beverages and those who do not, regardless of age. 21 plus, obviously, for alcoholic, but there's lots of adults who don't drink as well, and there's something for them as well. Yeah, so we wanted to make sure that we had things that were not boring for whatever your preference or your age.
Got some great seltzers.
Fire. Yeah. And like Wegmans always comes through too, so we're excited for that. And then the music obviously is the central focus, but then yard games, and then we are adding this year a craft corner that will be very, very, very fun and interesting and cool.
So you get a little something to take home with you.
Yep. And something like everyone's different. Like some people like to, rock out with the bands, and other people like to vibe a little bit and just have the music be in the background. We've got you, and we also
facility is absolutely big enough to do everything.
Yeah,
it's massive. Rock out with the band. You can just hang back and enjoy your drink. You can do a little bit of both. You can play a game
and it's from noon till 6 p.m. since it's like a music festival. So you can come and go. You by no means have to commit to 6 hours, but your ticket will get you that full time. Yeah. If you need to come early and you need to run and do an errand or whatever, come back. That's an option too. If you just want to come for an hour,
you said drink tickets, but you can still purchase more if you choose to.
Exactly, full bar and like
after discussion
at your preferences.
Bar, of course.
Correct. That's correct. That we don't get involved in that. That's all up to the experts. But we, the other thing that's new this year for Casa Palooza is we have merchandise, and that's brand new. So we're super excited. We're going to have posters, T-shirts. you know what? We might be able to cough up some Casa hats for you. Let me see what I can do.
I mean,
but we're gonna
I'd love to get a Casa
lots
hat.
of Casa stuff.
Yeah.
And then lots of festival related stuff.
Nice.
And this, for the second year in a row, this was a brainchild. So you want to talk about how important it is, partnerships we started talking about, why it matters, who you do business with, is because Cinch IT, that's right here in Worcester, they're over on West Boylston Street, they became our IT vendor about 3 years ago. We did a lot of work, a lot of homework, trying to figure out what the right fit would be, and we identified that they would be. They have been that and then some, and they are the ones who founded this event on our behalf.
Oh, wow.
So Keith Pettit from Cinch IT and his team over there are the ones who are actually like the brains behind the operation, and they also are, they literally roll up their sleeves, and they help us with all of the logistics, getting all the bands, selling tickets. They're incredible. So Cinch IT, yeah, and Keith over there have been like, this has nothing to do with IT. Right. It's just like, they were like, we love what you're doing. And Keith happens to be a musician. His band, Absent Minded, will be playing for the second year. But also we have a headliner this year.
Oh, really?
Midnight Riders have won like tons of awards in this region. They're young kids, super talented. They're a headliner. So we're not messing around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, you guys are
the real.
Really pulling this together.
Yeah.
And what I love is that Cinch IT, you know, you're getting other organizations and businesses to want to get involved too, you know, to get their hands dirty and really make things work, which just goes to show, if you care about anything, really anything that's passion for you, you don't have to be anything specific to be able to contribute. Bringing this back to Casa, you know, if there's anything, I do a podcast, for example.
Exactly.
This is my contribution.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of people out there.
There's Bree and Cookie and folks who
they all bring their little piece of the
makers.
Pie. Yep. Next thing you
creatives.
Know, we're doing these amazing things to raise.
But it just goes to show, I think it's important to make sure that we all keep our business local, no matter what size your business or organization is. Yeah. I think it's so important, more than ever before, to make sure we're doing business thoughtfully and that we're really keeping all of that, you know, helping to drive the economy here in the city and in the region. That's right.
Mostly, you know, if you don't mind, I'll take a little, because I know Bree gives a lot. I give a lot.
She does. Yeah, you do.
Give a lot. But we also need to sustain. So
that's right.
We need people to help uplift us and make sure that we can keep going, so we could be here.
Yes.
Forever to come.
And one thing I can say about Casa, we take that very seriously, and we know we have to do a lot of asking because we're a nonprofit. Right. And we rely on partnerships and sponsorships and donations. However, we believe we can give something back to you, and that's not only our business when it is the right fit and when it works out, but also it can be like brand exposure. And that's why you were talking about our social media earlier and how talented our team is, and they are. And it's something we take very seriously because we believe we can help elevate other people's work and brands. In return, that's the way we can be hopefully good partners back.
Right.
So we really take that seriously, and we want to make sure if people contribute whatever way, that we're making sure that people know what they did.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
It's important.
Again, back to the Casa team. Thank you all. So March 15th is the
Saturday, all afternoon.
Casapalooza.
Yep.
And you said there were 2 events?
Oh, yeah.
Did we get the second one in yet?
Perhaps I've lost my mind, but the exact following weekend, March 22nd.
2 weekends in a row?
Yes.
Sure.
Different event, though.
Okay.
So you probably know Electric Haze.
Of course.
It's amazing on Mulberry Street. I know. I think it's so cool, but a lot of people have been telling me, like, I've never been in there. I'm like, you are missing out.
Listen.
It's fire.
It's technically a club, right?
I think so. It's a music venue club, Uko Lounge.
It's an art installation.
Yes.
For that alone, you don't got to drink, you don't got to smoke. Just go and check out the art. It's awesome.
And our girl Victoria over there.
For sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be alcoholic.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Our girl Victoria over there is a real one. She's talented. She's kind. She's everything.
Else who gives back to the community a lot, especially
1,000%.
The creative community. A lot of artists.
She's
it's
awesome.
Not easy being a musical artist and trying to find a place to play. Yeah,
that's right. It's a very cool venue. So if you haven't been there, if you have, you already know. But if you haven't, you've got to check it out. It's awesome. And
it's on Water Street.
it's on Milbury Street, I believe. Yeah, but it's right off Kelly. Yeah, there was some weird rerouting of the traffic when they did Kelly Square over. Yeah. I don't exactly remember,
it's on the other side.
Down by
across the street from Worcester Public Market.
Exactly. Like go by Hotel Vernon is on your left, and Electric Case is right there on your right. Yeah.
Much better than
everyone knows those. Yeah. So this is going to be our first ever on March 22nd. It's also a Saturday, but this one's in the evening. Our Fund Raver.
Oh, I like that. Fund Raver.
Thought you might.
Raise funds and rave out.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. Break it down. Because, I mean, when I think of raves, I'm sure you know where my mind goes, but it can't be all that. So
no, it's going to be, well, I'll tell you what, we're trying to really tailor this to folks around our age. Yeah. Anyone 21 plus is welcome. So by no means am I saying anyone's too young or too old at all, but it's definitely going to be geared towards like folks who have positive memories or whatever memories at all they are of the 90s and early 2000s. So a fire music era, as we know.
I don't even think you have to be around our age to understand.
To appreciate it. Oh my gosh, totally. Central Mass Productions, another amazing local partner of ours. They're coming in and doing live DJ sets.
Ooh.
They have made custom vinyl records for this. They are bananas. They are bananas.
I need a vinyl. Can you make sure
they are? I'm going to put in a plug. I'll tell you what, they made a custom vinyl for Champions for Children at the Tower. And I'm telling you right now, it's one of my most prized possessions, not even exaggerating. So cool. It's sick. I'm going to get it framed. It's going to be like on my office wall. So they are at it again. They're coming in hot for the 22nd of March. And we're selling tickets. Everything that I just talked about, you can find on our website, thecasaproject.org. Tickets in advance for both are going to be cheaper. And they're going to be the way to guarantee you can get in the door because this 90s event is like going gangbusters. As you can imagine, there's a lot of interest. Yeah. I can promise you nostalgic treats. Throwback candy, a very cool throwback door prize that includes a Furby and a Tamagotchi and lots of other stuff.
Back to my childhood.
I'm telling you. For sure. It's going to be awesome. So we had some cool support come through with a first-time event like this. You just don't know what to expect. Oh, it's also important for me to say, we're splitting the proceeds with our friends at Habitat for Humanity, Greater Worcester and Metro West.
Excellent. So two really amazing community organizations that actually help people, real-life people going through real-life struggles are going to be benefited from.
And there's so much intersection in our work around stability. And isn't that fun? Carlene on our team came up with a name and it's like so clever and creative. Yeah.
I see you.
Like no big deal. She's very, very, very talented. So my friends, Matt Foster and Julie Davenport are the ones who kind of like cooked up this concept. Yeah. And believe it or not, it was actually sort of accidentally named by Carlene at Champions for Children.
Oh, wow.
When we were talking about it, we were dancing in the kind of the after party and we're like, oh my gosh, wouldn't this be fun? So we had some really, I think, like generous and sort of bold sponsors come in early for this because honestly, first year event, who knows what it could be. But Spencer Fort Wrangler, who's a realtor in the city, he works for Tops and he came through right away. He's a big supporter of Casa and Habitat both. Right away, Unibank came in hot. We appreciate them. They have a new branch down in Kelly Square across from Polar Park. And then we also had E.L. Harvey that came in to support us as well, and Cunningham as well. So there are first year.
For the first time.
And we didn't really have, we had no real expectations.
What a good idea. Like
I
everyone thinks
so. And they want to like send their teams. They want to be there.
I will say, like, really, really want to keep it out because as much as we love Electric Haze and we think it's such an amazing venue, especially artistically, it's not that big, y'all.
That's right.
Which means
it will fill up. And I can tell you right now, like, we're still sorting out the specifics, so you'll have to follow on social media to know exactly what you're getting. But Deep Eddy is in and Major Bloom is in. Ooh. So whatever your poison is, I can promise you that there will be something there that will appeal to you.
Major Bloom is a great friend of mine.
Yeah, and unlike the 90s, you could just frolic down the street from Electric Haze.
I mean,
I
don't know
and access.
How legally we could say that, but yes.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm just saying like adult. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we be careful. That's all.
But anyway, legally, you no longer have to. Yes, now it's a legal option here in this great
Right.
state of Massachusetts.
Right.
So anyway, we're just very fortunate to have, so March 15th, Saturday, Casapalooza, March 22nd, Saturday, fundraiser.
Yeah.
So we're busy as heck.
And again, the fundraiser is 21 plus.
It's 21 plus, but we're also starting at 7 p.m. on purpose because I know for me, I am not that young.
I love you for saying that. It is.
I'm not trying to go out at 10 p.m.
Yes, my bedtime.
Yeah.
You learned a lot about me today. My bedtime is 9 p.m.
Yep. I'm not trying to go out. Like when people are like, what are you up to? I'm like, oh, girl,
Yeah.
I've been asleep. Like with my puppy. So yeah, so this is a 7 p.m. start. We're gonna have cool like photo opportunities. I mean, it's gonna be really it.
So I can go to 7, be home by 10. You know,
1,000%.
Only an hour past my bedtime.
That's right.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, we won't push you.
And for the other folks who, you know, maybe they're getting out of work a little later, or they do like to stay up a little later.
We try to pick that middle. Yeah.
Electric Haze is open till 1:30.
They're gonna stay open, like even after like our party, they'll still stay open. So for those who do prefer a later night, that's an option.
They'll go down.
Yeah, they're there for you. But I appreciate them because they were like, yeah, let's get those older millennials like myself in there. Yep.
I'm not even gonna lie.
That's and I can tell you right now, like, just a quick teaser.
Yep.
I am bringing back the fit.
Word.
From the 90s, early 2000s, and I know I'm not alone. So come for the music, stay for the outfits. I'm just saying.
Is there a door prize for an outfit?
There is. We may have to consider that because the door prize is really pretty substantial. Yeah. So we might have to think about doing a little bit of a, you know what? I like that. Yeah. Okay. See?
Maybe
ideas everywhere.
It'll make me want to dress up for sure. The thought. Yeah, maybe.
You're brilliant. Okay.
They tell me
the moment the show is over, I want to be on the horn, like, guys.
We need a door prize.
Yeah, I heard here first on Manny J Media. Oh, most importantly,
of Manny J Media,
we got a promo code just for your listeners.
Stop it. I mean, I'm actually surprised, but I kind of knew. I'm still very honored and like.
Yep. It's unique.
Way to stroke my ego, Julie. I love you.
Well, listen, we want to make sure that your listeners, that this is accessible for them, whether they want to come to one, the other, or both. Yeah. So Manny J5 will get you $5 off either ticket.
Can we spell that out real quick?
Yeah. You spell it out for us.
MANNYJAE5.
The numeral 5. Yep.
Number 5.
Yep, exactly. And we'll make sure that we post that, and you can like reshare it too, so that people can just copy paste if they want. Right. But tickets, thecasaproject.org, or you can find it through any of our social media pages. If you're like, what was that? $5 off either ticket, or you can use it for both. If you want to go to Casapalooza and the fundraiser, you can get $5 off of each. You don't have to pick one or the other. So
$10.
That's right. And if you're going to bring your family, or you're going to bring friends, family is better for a Casapalooza, friends, or adult family for a fundraiser. But you can share that too. So
Casapalooza, if we're talking about bringing children,
yep, all ages,
thing,
right? 1,000%.
Is it the same ticket for everybody?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different nuances to the tickets. So just go on the page. But what I can tell you for sure is for Casapalooza, the cheapest tickets are going to be ahead of time. At the door, they're going to go up a little bit. Yeah. So just make sure you hop online and get them in the next few days, because we're going to have to shut down online tickets definitely by this time next week. So you probably have 6 days or so from today when we're recording.
Every time somebody shows up at the door, they really wish they got their tickets ahead of time.
1,000%.
It's first of all, it's a lot easier. It's kind of like a get right in
VIP moment. Yeah.
But then when you're at the door, you realize, damn, I could have had a whole extra drink had I just got tickets ahead.
That's right. So just plan ahead. Yeah. If you are a last minute person, don't worry, we're not going to turn you away. But check it out on the website. And like I said, the one on the 15th, the Casapalooza, that's a noon start, but you can come in and out anytime between noon and 6. And then fundraiser starts at 7 on the 22nd.
Excellent.
We're doing it all. We're doing it all.
Just one moment.
Okay.
Before we go, there are some things, because we're running out of time, like always. My imaginary watch is like screaming at me to hurry up. We do have some things going on in our things that we need to pay attention to, and things that we need to act upon. Clearly, everybody knows, without us having to say names or get into anything too specific, our country is going through a phase right now.
That's a kind way to say it.
Yeah, it's going through a thing.
It's going through a rough spot.
What I want to focus on with you, though, particularly with Casa, is our judges. You know, there are we're in a deficit of judges, and it doesn't look like we're going to be getting any help from above anytime soon. So it's something that we should start talking about amongst ourselves and how we might be able to help the situation.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I can only speak to the juvenile courts, of course, although I think that this is something that impacts lots of the courts, maybe even all of them. I will say that our administration is in support of filling these open positions. However, it's not as speedy, nor am I suggesting it should be speedy. Right. It needs to be thoughtful. But it is definitely a challenge to make sure that our benches are always full. And that, of course, has an impact on the cases as well. The judges we have are unbelievable. The ones that we work with. Anyway, I can speak to Worcester County juvenile judges, and they are truly good human beings who genuinely care about kids and families, and about justice. However, they're humans. They only have so many hours in the day. The court obviously has certain hours as well. And frankly, they deserve to be fully supported and to be fully staffed. And by the way, I don't just mean in Worcester County. I mean all over the state of Massachusetts. I would like to see all of the juvenile courts fully staffed.
And it helps a lot of our kids that are currently sitting in limbo.
Yep.
Literally sitting in limbo. And
move those cases through.
A juvenile center or what have you.
We need those kids deserve permanency, period.
Right.
And not in 2 years. Right. You know, so like really this is one of the things that I think we can help educate folks on and really be a part of. Well, how do we help? You and I, right? Like, oh, well, I don't know anything about a judge, who's going to be a judge or whatever. Right. Well, we can vote. And this is where it's important.
Place to start. And this is the year to do that.
This is a very big year for Worcester, the city of Worcester, and for municipal elections. All politics are local. Our good friend Senator Kennedy reminded me of that exact statement this week when we were talking earlier a couple of days ago. All politics are local. And if you think you're going to show up for a presidential election and not for your local municipal elections, you have done and lost it. Because really where you're going to feel the effects of the outcome of an election is right here. And wherever your town or city is, start now. Yeah, it's March. This is a perfect time to start thinking about what candidate you support. It's going to go so fast. And we have a really, really important election cycle right now. I would urge folks to certainly not related to Casa specifically, but reach out to me personally if anyone wants to talk about how to get involved civically or how to educate themselves on what the openings are or what the different candidates how they might resonate with you. But another thing that impacts our judges is it's not municipal, but state election wise is Paul DiPaolo. We talked earlier about our friend Paul DiPaolo. He's our governor's counselor. We're in District 8 for the governor's council. Districting is bananas, but that's our region, Central Mass region. And Paul is a real one. He's a real one. And re-electing him this last cycle made a big difference toward what we're talking about in terms of making sure that we not only have judges, have the right judges. Right.
And just to make clear for our audience who may not know who Paul DiPaolo is, a big part of his job is to vet and interview and carefully source judges that are going to be in the juvenile justice system.
And I can tell you right now, Paul does not do our region dirty. He does his homework and then some. He really is thoughtful about who to move forward and really having conversations with them about what it looks like to serve our region in a really productive way for the long term. So there is no one more committed to the role and to the long-term success of the courts in that capacity. So I would just say, educate yourself on what governor's council is. That's a state thing, right? Even though we have someone who serves our region, that's Paul DiPaolo. But also start to think about municipal elections. It's common, people, and we got to do this right. So, I would recommend that people think less about politics and more about policy and where you want to see our city go and what's important. And don't think about a single issue. Don't think about a single candidate. Think about the makeup. Think about the makeup of a functional government body and leadership. And then I think that will help us make some really smart decisions and really move our city keep our city as a safe place. I have friends who are moving here from out of state because the world, this country,
craziness.
Yeah. So like, I want to say to them with pride, continue to say, come to Worcester. It's safe here. It's a space where everyone can succeed and can feel safe and welcome. And that, I think we, as the voters, we have a big part in that. Right. So let's get it done. It's our year to shine.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of people who, I mean, arguably you could say we're Massachusetts a blue state where it may not really matter, but I feel with every fiber of my being that it actually matters just as much, if not more, that we continue being vigilant, that we continue calling things as they are, bringing truth to power, and also making those who need to be held accountable. And
thank you.
If there's what I'm seeing now on a national federal level is a severe lack or break, I guess, if you will, of checks and balances. And that scares me more than anything.
Yes.
I don't want a party. I don't want a government run by all Democrats or all Republicans.
That's right.
I want
we need balance.
A balance of
perspectives
people to come together.
And,
exactly. Perspectives, experiences,
an inclusive
so that way the entire
outlook.
Country as a whole can be better and not just one over the other.
Totally agree.
And that right there, the system of checks and balances starts locally.
And if you're anything like me, this is a time when I think we're feeling like overwhelmed and maybe a little bit helpless, maybe a little bit like just trying to understand like where do I channel my energy? And this is where. It's local politics. It's helping your community, whether it's organizations like Casa, whether it's, spreading good word about businesses and good work that's going on like you do, whether it's getting involved and certainly voting at a bare minimum. But this is where I think we can start to say, like, help us with that feeling of like, I certainly share it, of just like overwhelmed and like, what could we possibly do? Like, I need to shut my TV off and whatever. But like, just be really thoughtful about how you consume media. And listen, we can make a difference if we all like commit to doing something on a local level. Yeah. So I mean, show up.
Honestly, even if not for today, we can literally start next Saturday and March 22nd, doing something that's going to make the future days of our children be that much better.
That's right. And have a little fun with it, too.
It's a great place to start.
It really, really is.
So, Casapalooza.
Casapalooza and Fundraver. And you know what? Look for us in the St. Patty's Day parade because we're going to be marching with the Grand Marshal, Kate McAvoy.
That sounds like so much fun. So you get 3 opportunities to hang out with Casa, all within a span of 2 weeks.
Yep.
You guys just give it
No excuses.
No excuses. All right. Before we go, because we are all out of time, can we just run down the 2 events?
Yep.
And how people can take advantage of getting involved.
Yep. So Saturday, March 15th, Casapalooza at the Schoolyard in West Boylston, noon to 6 p.m. Get your tickets online ahead of time or show up at the door, but I recommend ahead. thecasaproject.org. And then Saturday, March 22nd, Fundraver at Electric Haze, 7 p.m. start. It will be very nostalgic, very fun, adults only, whereas Casapalooza is all ages and family friendly. And again, thecasaproject.org. And if you don't remember that, CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocates, thecasaproject.org. If you don't remember that, just catch us on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn because we are active and you'll be able to find all of the links with a very, very, very quick search.
And better yet, we'll put thecasaproject.org in the description above.
Thank you.
All you got to do is look up and click. It's that simple. Julie, it's over again already.
Sorry, we're going to have to do it again.
We have to do it again.
Yep.
But I thank you so much for coming to join me and not only joining me and having a nice little conversation, but bringing more opportunities for the community to get involved in protecting our children, especially those that, to no fault of their own, because they're children, are caught up in the court system, which we all know could be very difficult as a lawyer, never mind an adult.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So thank you so much for joining me once again. And thank you all out there for joining us and this very important topic and conversation. And until next time, it's your boy Manny and
Julie.
this is Manny J Media, community delivered. We'll see you real soon. Peace.